This tutorial is to show you how you can create a screen recording of a presentation of a project that you can then deliver online. For example, I want to create a walkthrough of my website and I want to post that online so that people can view it. It can also be a way of creating online tutorials. It's a great way for students to share their work with their tutors during this time of lockdown when we can't see people face to face. So I'm going to do a walkthrough of this website and I'm going to record it using QuickTime. Now if you're on a Mac, you can use QuickTime for screen recording. You just go to File, New Screen Recording. Now if you're on Windows, you can use GameBar on Windows 10 to do a screen recording. That's free. And on Mac and Windows, you can use OBS Studio, which you have to download from the OBS website. So I'm going to do a new screen recording. And that's going to open up this little window here, if I just drag that over, where I can choose the input device that I want to use for the audio. I can adjust the volume. And when I click on record, it allows me to either click and record the full screen, or before I start recording, I can just draw an area that I want to record. And then as soon as I click start recording, it will start recording what I'm doing. Now I'm going to do a quick run through of my website, so I'm going to select my web browser and I'm just going to drag the slider down to show people this page here. I'm going to stop so that they can read the different courses. And then we're going to have a look at one of the links. So I'm going to click on this link, which takes us to the remote training page. And this explains that all of our training courses can now be delivered online. I'm going to start scrolling down again. I'm going to explain that if they subscribe to the newsletter, they can get all the latest news and offers. So I'm going to stop recording there. I'm going to use Premiere Rush for editing my little movie together. Now you can use any editing application. There are lots of free editing applications. You can use Windows Movie Maker or iMovie, but Premiere Rush is great. It's available to all Creative Cloud All Apps subscribers. It's also available to Premiere Pro CC single app subscribers and all student plan subscribers. In addition, there's a free starter plan that gives users access to all the apps and features, but it limits your exports to 3 projects. During the lockdown, the coronavirus lockdown, Adobe are offering a free subscription to all students, so you can take advantage of that. So I'm going to create a new project. I'm going to call it Screen Capture. What we need to do is select some media to create a new project. So I'm going to go into my movies folder and I'm going to select this movie here and I'm going to create my movie from that. And you'll see that it places that movie in the timeline along with the audio. Okay, and we can go ahead and start editing this. Now, if I'm not happy with the audio, I can re-record the audio here. Now, you'll notice that I don't have any access to switches here, but if I click on this button, you'll notice that I can turn off the audio on this layer. And if I want to record a new audio layer, I can go up to this button, say Add Media, Voiceover. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to record a new voiceover. So let's click record. Welcome to the Creative Cabin website. All of our courses are now delivered via secure, remote, online learning software. You can visit the website at creativecabin.co.uk to get more information about the courses that we teach here. Now I can stop recording at any time and then move to a new section. Obviously I've got a big section there that I want to remove in the video, so I'm going to select the video and I'm going to click on, at this point here, the cut button, and that's going to cut the video at that point, and then it's very easy for me then to trim that to where I want it to be trimmed. And you'll see that up in the top window it's showing me what my new in point will be for the next clip. So I'll just move to the correct point and then, as if by magic, it just trims all the footage to that point automatically. So there we go, we've got that being trimmed quite nicely. And I'm going to start recording here again. So I'll click on record. On the homepage, you'll be able to see basic information about the courses. To get more detailed information, you can click on the links here, or you can go up to the menu bar to get more information about our new remote training. Remote training is delivered via Adobe Connect, secure video conferencing software that you can access from the comfort of your own home. And I'm going to stop recording there again. And let's scrub forward. Okay, so at this point I want to start talking about the newsletter, so I'm going to record again. Now, if the record option is not available, just go back up here and choose VoiceOver, and it will make it available again. If you'd like to get access to our latest news and offers, you can subscribe to our newsletter either by the pop-up menu or by the subscribe link in our main menu. There's links to all the courses that are covered by Creative Cabin. There's also more details about online courses up in the main menu. In the courses page, you get detailed information, including customer reviews, information about your trainer, and detailed outlines of each of the courses. Once you're ready to book, you can go to the contact page, fill in your name, email address, and a short message, and someone will get back to you as soon as possible. Now, I want to speed this bit up here, so what I'm going to do is go back to the beginning where the form appears, and I'm going to make a cut here. And then I'm going to go to the end of the form. Okay, just to here, and I'm going to make another cut. Now what I want to do is speed this section up. So I'm going to select it, go up here to my timing tab, where I can adjust the speed. So if I want the speed to be faster, I can drag it this way, and you'll notice it's speeding that clip up now. Okay, you'll see that I can make that whatever length I want just by speeding it up. I'm going to speed it up a little bit more. And now we're ready to start recording again. Okay, so I'm going to click on plus, VoiceOver, and start recording again. You can also look in our freebies page for some examples of free tutorials made by the people who deliver the training at Creative Cabin. For example, here's our Learn After Effects Expressions course, where you can get links to some free tutorials on editing expressions, using variables, looping animations, and other topics. If you want to check out reviews of our training, you can have a look on the reviews page, where you'll find detailed reviews by some of our customers. We've also got a blog where we share our latest news. Now I'm going to stop there because I made a mistake, so I'm going to backtrack. And I'm just going to go back to where I was happy with it, which was about here. And I'm going to start recording again. So again, plus, VoiceOver, click record, and we're going to do that again. We've also got a blog where we share our latest news. Okay, so I'm going to cut out this subscribe section because we've already talked about subscription. So I'm going to create a cut at that point, and I'm going to trim it. And we're going to go straight to the kids' classes. Okay, now that's going to create a bit of an odd cut. So what I'm going to do is put a dissolve in there. So instead of a jump, we get a nice smooth transition. So I'm going to go into my transitions and drag a cross dissolve down onto the cut. And there we get a nice transition. So let's create a new VoiceOver here. Click record. We also provide classes for children. We do a 1-hour webinar free for everyone once a week on Photoshop for kids. We also do homeschooling, and all our teachers are fully qualified. So contact us if you want more information about classes for children. And I'm going to stop recording there. And what we're going to do is just cut this a little bit because it's a little bit too long. So I'm going to cut it here, and we're just going to trim out this section here. So let's take a look at the other features in Premiere Rush that you can take advantage of. If I select this clip here, I can go to the colour section, and you'll notice there are lots of presets in there for different looks that I can apply to my video. Now these aren't particularly great for websites, they're more designed for video footage. But if I click on None and then double click it, it gives me access to all of these settings here. You'll see I've got an exposure setting, so if I need to darken that down or brighten it. I've got a contrast setting, if I need to make it more or less contrasty. Bring the highlights down, the shadows. We can adjust the vibrance, make it a little bit brighter. Bring down the saturation. And then you've got sharpening in here if you want to make it a little bit clearer. Okay, there's also a vignette setting, so you can either put a light vignette or a dark vignette in your video. It's not really suitable here, but the option's there if you want to use it. If you're happy with that, you can save it as a preset. So I can call that Angie's Website preset. And once I click save and go back to my presets, you'll see that I've now got that preset that I can drag onto other clips. Now you can also change audio. If we go to the audio section and just choose voice as the preset, it will do an auto volume on the voice, and it will apply it to all the media to keep the entire project near the same volume. So if, for example, I'd recorded these at with my microphone in a different place, for example, it would balance the audio across all the clips for me. Now you can also ask it to balance the sound, and that will, within a clip, make quiet sounds louder and loud sounds quieter. Now if you're just working with a voice, that works quite well, but if you wanted sections to be loud and then quiet, you're probably best not to use this. But for a voice it's pretty good. And if you've got a bit of hiss or background noise, you can click on this to dampen down the background noise, and you can adjust the slider to taste. You can also reduce reverb and echo and enhance the speech to make it clearer. Now I've got quite a deep voice, so I find the male preset is better for me. And you'll see that the sound is really rich that we get from that. Okay, you've also got cropping options for your video. So you've got basic position options to position it. We can reset that. You've also got rotation, which can reset, and opacity, which we can reset. And underneath, down here, we can do non-uniform scaling by using the width and height values. And again, I can reset that if I need to. Down in the advanced section, we could crop things. So I could crop the top, crop the bottom, crop the left, crop the right. If I want to make that full screen, I could just come up here and scale it till it fills the screen. And we end up with a nice full screen video instead of just a small section. There's also feather values in there if you want to add a feather to your crop. And finally, we're going to have a look at the text tool up here, the title tool. And that's the top one here. If we want to add a title, there's two ways of doing it. We can drag and drop them from here, or we can go up here and choose Add Title. And that's going to place a title in at the beginning, and I can just type in a name. Creative Cabin website tour. Now, if I don't like it, I can come over here and choose from any of these templates. These templates are built in an application called After Effects. And just by clicking on that, it will override the default setting. Now you'll notice it's disappeared, and that's because this is an animated title. So if I zoom in and just have a look at that, you'll see it's got this nice little animation applied to it. Now I can adapt these. Obviously that purple's not very good because it blends too well with the background colour, so I might want to use the green there. So at any time I can come in here and I can edit this. So if I open up the shape settings and open up the shape outline, I can sample a colour from the background. And you'll notice that that changes. I can also change the colour of the text, so maybe I want to make the text that colour as well. And maybe make the shadow a little bit softer, so bring down the opacity and put a bit of a blur on there. Okay, I might want to make the text white again because it doesn't really show up enough there. So let's make it white. Okay, now if I've got a title, I maybe want to put like an area of black underneath. There's a couple of ways of doing this. There's lots of times where I want to create a black background in Premiere Rush. So I figure a really good way of doing it is if we add a new title, and I'm going to drag it underneath this one. So let's drag that one above and this one underneath. And I'm actually going to drag it over here so it goes before my video footage. And there's the title that's going to be above it. Now notice that I've got one title on top of the other title, but I can select the title underneath and go to Edit, Title, and just turn everything off. So I don't have any text colour, I don't have any text outline, I don't have any text shadow. So therefore I've got an empty black layer. So now I can have my title playing over just a black area underneath. Now I tend to use this quite a lot, so I'm just going to save this as a preset. So I'm going to go to Save Template As, black, whoops, I'm going to call it blank background. And click Save. And now if I'm looking for a blank area, I can just drag that in from here. So anytime I need a blank area between clips, I can just drag that down. So that's a little trick of how you can create this black area here at the beginning. Okay, now I'm going to put a little bit of a fade in there. There's already a dip to black, so I'm just going to make that a little bit longer so that we're fading up from black into the main piece of video here. Okay, once you've got your video finished, you can go to the share options up here, and you can share it locally by clicking on this link here, and you've got advanced settings down here where you can choose a preset. So you'll see here I've got presets for Facebook and YouTube. So I could save those, export them, and then upload them. But underneath that, you'll see we've got quick links to things like Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Behance. So if I want to output to YouTube, all I need to do is sign in, which I've already done here. If you haven't signed in, it will just say sign in here, and you enter your username and password. Then I have access to all of the playlists here. So I can scroll down, find the playlist that I want to put this in, which is Tutorials by Angie Taylor. We'll call it Premiere Rush Tutorial. Put a description in there, which I'm just going to do that and I'll fill it in later. We'll say I'm going to make it private at the moment because I might go in and change a few of the settings before I publish it. Give it a few tags, so I'll call it Premiere Rush, comma, Adobe, comma, Tutorial, comma, and this helps people find it. So if they're looking for a tutorial on Premiere Rush, particularly on using it for screen capture, they'll find this tutorial. Now I can schedule it to be posted at a certain time. I've also got advanced settings where I can override the defaults. I don't recommend doing that. I recommend just going to export and exporting your movie for YouTube. It will automatically be uploaded for you, and then you can share it with whoever you want to share it with. So I hope this tutorial's been useful to you. Please visit Creative Cabin if you need any more information about our training.